Alright, so this is the bottom of TM01. We're looking at the rear brake right here. So it's pretty simple about how we need to go through to widen this brake enough so it's going to be able to accept just about any wheel out there. So the two major things, typically, right in here and right there on the other side, there's two studs that go in there. You can remove those. What those do is those are brake stops, and so when this thing goes all the way out, that brake's typically going to hit against that. We don't want it to hit against that anymore. We want to make sure that that brake can open beyond the width of those studs. They're Loctited in, so they're pretty tight on there, so you need to just use the appropriate size Allen wrench. It's either a 2.5 or a 3 millimeter, I forget off the top of my head, but you can crack those guys off, take those all the way out. So that's step one. The second thing that you need to do is going to be, there's little spacers behind, kind of between the actual brake pad holder and the arm. So you need to make sure those are all out, and then you put them on the outboard side of the brake pad holder. So there's like, I think 5 or so washers that go in there. The only one that you leave in there is a little concave shaped one that allows the brake pad to kind of pivot to make sure that it hits the actual braking surface right. So you take all those out, put them on this side. Same thing on this brake pad over here, so that moves the brake pads really wide. And then the third and final thing is going to be the brake pads themselves. Use those Zipp cork brake pads instead of the gray ones. These ones are just a little bit thinner. And now I think about it, there's actually one other thing as well. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Need to unhook the brake. Okay, maybe not. Make it. Help. Unhook that brake for me. See, it's very simple to do. Trade you. I need one more finger. Goes that way. This part does. There we go. All right. Last thing is there's another little brake stop on the back of the brake pad itself. If you look at the very bottom side of it, way down here, right here, what you need to do is you need to make sure that that's actually removed because that'll actually butt up against the frame itself. And so it's a little like screw head that's made out of plastic. That needs to be taken off, and that'll allow the brake arms to go just a little bit further out as well. So just recapping, brake studs, number one. Those little washers, we need to move them outboard. Brake pads, we need to move those to the Zipp cork pads. And then the last one is going to be that spacer that goes on the very back side of the brake pad holder itself. Move all those, and then it's going to give you a lot of clearance on those wheels.